Yeah.
Has to be asked of the superior. It should be asked with
I'm looking.
humility.
I'm looking.
Luck.
But as for
Pick.
coarse jests and
I'd like to
idle
Well,
words and
so
movements
you
of
heard.
laughter,
I'll trade.
these we condemn everywhere.
Die even wat goed weer kwijt. Nog eten hebben, dan moeten we toch wel de hele dag mee vooruit kunnen.
By his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should
Gregor.
always remember what he is. And
I'd like
what
to
he
ask you.
called, and should know
Are there ever any disagreement?
from him
Unfortunately,
more
yes.
why.
The
Let him
biggest
make no
quarrels right
distinction
now
of
are about the
persons
election
in
of the new.
Let him not love one
Tell me
more
something
than
about
another.
The
Unless
old
it
abbot
be
is
one
practically
who
on his
finds pleasure
deathbed.
in good works,
There are
or
two
in obedience.
candidates. Half the
And let him
monastery
not
wants
shut his
John,
eyes
the
to
other half
faults of
Nevlas,
offenders, but
and there's no
since he has
chance
the
they'll.
authority, let him cut out those faults by
Tell
the
me about
roots
John.
as soon
John
as
is
they
the
begin to
circator and the
appear.
oldest brother here. It would be only natural if he took the crozier from Peter. He
The well-disposed and those of
I'd like to know about
Nevlas manages the monastery's property. He doesn't have the most experience, but is dry. Although perhaps he's too keen to change our routines here.
curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing.
Why does it matter?
Because the older brother.
Punishments. Knowing that it is written, the fool is not correct. And again, beat your son with
Who
the
would you
rod,
like to be the new
will
abbot?
deliver his soul from death.
John, there's no other
Rule of
candidate.
Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples.
Gregor.
Precepts by his
I'm still curious about this treasure.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't.
always
I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it.
in the monastery.
Oh.
More than another, unless it be one whom he finds.
Onder de slaap. Dus bij deze een.
What kind of a book is it?
Let him not
I found it here in the library. It was on a shelf where it should never have been. It's the Necronomicon. Ghosts. Deep. Who knows what it means?
Oh, I'm not too sure what the prior or the cicada.
Prejudice. But you're right. It is prohibited.
If it wasn't harmful, it wouldn't be forbidden.
That's a rather limited view of the world. Some write about the saints, others about demons. And an educated person should know both.
Fair enough.
Pity I can't understand a word it says. And I've been trying for quite a while. Just please don't tell anyone about the book. If the brothers learn that I took it from the library and hid it, I'll be in a lot of trouble.
The rule of Saint Benedict.
I'll leave you be.
Therefore,
Thank you.
when anyone
And please.
receives the name of disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is
How is it that you don't get any penance for missing morning prayers?
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from time to time. No one's too awake at that time of the morning.
those of harder hearts and
Oké.
the abbot should always remember what he is.
In the middle of the night, I saw the brother cicators drinking and playing.
How marvelous. Did you join in?
Siskin? I thought it wasn't.
If the circators can,
That's not how it works, though, is it?
I know.
Love one more than
A
another,
double standard.
unless it be
The
one
elder
who
brothers can
finds
do.
better in good works or in obedience. And let him
Who would
not
you
show
elect?
his
Most
eyes
likely
to
Nevlas.
faults of offenders,
He's a fine fellow and he seems honest.
authority, let him
A monastery will still be a monastery, no matter who's in charge. If you really want to talk more about it, ask Antonius.
Wat doen?
The well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition
Das.
the second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters, he should
Ah, Gregor.
at the very beginning punishments, knowing that it is written, the fool is not correct.
Who would you choose as the new abbot if you could?
And again,
Why should I even think about that when I don't have the right to vote?
will deliver his soul from
Gregor, don't go poking your nose into other people's business.
Readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is
Praise be to Christ, brother.
nothing dearer to them than Christ. Because of the holy service they have professed, and fear of hell, the glory of life everlasting. As soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay in executing. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay
Dat is iets naar 6. Vanaf 7 hebben we freetime. Kijk, zullen we toch niet kwalijk nemen als ik van de eetstafel afga, maar schijnbaar wel. Wat? Niks. Oh. Je ziet er al uit. Die is verkeerd omgerend. Dus ik wil even wachten dat we de update krijgen, we de freetime hebben dan. Oh, go to bed. Wanneer is freetime? Wat nou?
that must have been brother thing.
Ik ben er volgens mij voorbij gelopen. Ah, joh. Kijk. Ah, dan laat open bij. En als iedereen hier over de gang loopt. Oké. Gewonnen. Maar. Nou is het boek weg. Zou toch een boek kunnen liggen, zei hij. Niet nu pas. In de tuin heb ik trouwens nog niet gezorgd voor die plaatjes. Hier pagina's vinden.
Finishing what they don't.
Did you have to finish someone's weeding in the garden?
Yet again, I had
Al helemaal niet Antonius. Hier niet heel veel licht qua pagina's. Ramen.
Peter's health is deteriorating. They say he won't make it to the I wish all good health upon him. So I want to
Infuriating. A horrible, abominable waste of parchment. Young people have no respect for writing.
But they'll learn. I've read one of the manuscripts copied by one of the novices.
What would you like?
I'm still curious.
It's no big...
There's a lot of coin in the stash.
I admit it might look that way. But if I tell you what I'm hiding from everybody, I think you'll understand why. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I was rich and I had everything. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it.
What about the dagger?
That's a memento of better times. Father gave me that when I was a little lad. And it's done right by me more than once, when I got drunk somewhere with the wrong sort of people.
Do you know how to fight?
And how? Boozing and brawling. God, how I miss that here.
I see. And if you give me a few coins for myself, I won't tell anyone else about it.
What? A man pours his heart out.
Station lost. Oh, ik heb nog al het geld. We zouden in het klooster moeten zijn. Zei hij. Dat is empty. Search. Oh, daar zit inderdaad niks in. Niks in. Kijk maar af of... Dat zijn alleen boeken. Oké. Er ligt nog een page.
What troubles you?
I'd like to ask.
Can't you see I'm working?
Ja. Oh joh.
Get away from that cabinet. The book's still in there out for your eyes to see.
Hadden we 7 van de 10, dus moeten we nog 3 pagina's zien te vinden eigenlijk. Ja. Mhm.
These novices, I'd pull those idols by the ears.
What have they done to you this time, brother?
Serving their superiors to chase around after them, finishing what they've done.
Du-du-du-du-du-du. We niks aan. Netjes. Pouch kunnen we niks mee. Hier ligt er een.
They all know what we do to them. They've seen what we did to Lucas.
What the hell was that?
Today's food. What do they do in that kitchen?
Even kijken of er iemand op me afgegaan komt. En dan zien ze wat horen. Daar ook niks in. Kijken of je het piepje boven weg is, wilde ik zeggen, maar volgens mij kwam ik hem daar al tegen. Ja. Maar goed dat we hem gesaved hebben. Hop. Heb ik hem open? Er zit er niks in waar ik wat aan heb. Oké. Zit heen. En teruglaaien. Aangezien ik geen oppiks meer heb. Ik vraag mij af. Deze records liggen van ons allemaal.
Shouldn't you be getting your rest and not wandering about like a ghost?
Sorry, Prior. Huh. Nou, was te verwachten. Ik zat precies op een punt. Dat was vervelend. Zit hier niks. Er kocht helemaal niks. Flauw. Die gaat me niet lukken zo te werken. Maar eerst. Oh, is het wel heel donker hier. Netjes slapen aan 7. Oh, tot 4 uur. Dan staan hun ook op. Hier al een school hadden opgepakt. Ja, da, da, da. Dit was tot 6 uur geloof ik, hè? Oh, een uurtje erbij alvast. Kom, geef me pling dat we volgende mogen. Wij eten. Top.
ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy by his deeds, or by his words.
Monk.
Words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless one he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Sila, the well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, "The fool is not corrected with words." And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I have
Aspen.
put guard to my mouth.
Ik kan even met hem praten, want...
Kept silence. Hear the prophet the spirit of silence.
What is it, brother?
I'm interested in the election of.
You're not alone. Everyone's so worked up about that they spent no time considering how they could make the monastery a...
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Many brothers think more about their stomachs than prayer. The older brethren bend the rules of the order to make them fit their interests. So, to balance the scales, they want the novices to lead exemplary lives. Sin abounds here, just as in the outside world.
Okay.
What sins are you talking about?
The scripture says, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." I'm sorry, Gregor, it's not my place to speak about the sins of others.
Tell me something about how the new abbot will be elected.
A new abbot has to be elected once the old one dies. All the brethren can vote, with the exception of novices. The abbot's crozier will be conferred on whoever is chosen, and he'll take the vow. When he becomes abbot, a monk spends most of his time dealing with politics outside the monastery, instead of actually leading the monastery. But he still maintains a fundamental influence on life here.
Okay.
Can you tell me about Abbot Peter?
Peter's wise in the ways of politics and a good shepherd, but as you've already heard, he's old and infirm. The other brothers see him with one foot in the grave, but I still have hope for him. But you, brother, don't let yourself get involved in the games of your superiors. Could you help me with something?
With what?
I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I could give old Peter a few more years to do good. What do you say?
Waarom niet?
You can count on my help. What do you need me to do?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now you know, most of the brothers believe every illness is a message from God, and that it's not our place to deny his will. I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty to relieve people of their suffering. The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the Libri Prohibiti, the forbidden books, those we aren't permitted to read.
Okay.
Why are they forbidden?
Because they contain occult and demonic practices, witchcraft and all manner of evil. Or so some people claim. It's nonsense, of course. This is nothing but a book of medicine, albeit one written by a pagan. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, is universally acknowledged to be a wise man. But here, at some point, someone decided his book was the work of a Saracen devil and must be kept under lock and key. Since then, no one can even talk about the book. But the three wise men were from the East, were they not?
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it.
Oh, dat heb ik al gepikt.
Forbidden
Pocket.
books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but also Saracen letters. Bring it to me, but leave the other books there. No one will notice if one book disappears, but if more were to vanish, someone would certainly begin to look into it, which is exactly what we don't want.
Okay.
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to go at night. It's locked, but I'm sure you'll manage to get in. They say Brother Solarius understands locks, but don't tell him why you need it. Once you have the book, bring it to me, and I'll then use it to make Peter's medicine. We'll soon have the election of the abbot over and done with.
Dat had volgorde. Dus ik had dus eerst van hem dit moeten horen. Dan wist ik dat ik naar die andere type moest voor mijn lockpicks. Get key to the forbidden lock. Forbidden book complete. Maar die key heb ik helemaal niet.
Admonition the first and second time.
Optional still at night. Ik snuffel of er iemand is. Er is inderdaad iemand. Oké, dus dat moeten we inderdaad s'nachts doen. Even kijken, hier hadden we 2 boeken en liggen. Even kijken of we hebben al een table behind where the monk is transcribing. Ja, die hebben we net gepakt. East Wall is het just. Die hebben we ook al. Je wilt dadelijk even kijken om die 10 pagina's voor elkaar te krijgen. Tot hoe laat moeten we eten?
Any delay in executing it, but this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing. What is command? Delay, lukewarm.
Even kijken, Fredry zit erop te zwemen, die heb ik ook al bij al.
And far from gaining reward.
Even kijken. Vanaf de tables, ja, die hadden we straks al gepakt. Die lag op deze. Daar is on the bookstand on the east wall. Wacht, hier bovenop. Deze, maakt even niet uit. Oh, die hebben we.
What trouble?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I concoct 2 bucks blood per... Once you finish them, you'll...
Buckblots. Buckblot. Even kijken. Hier niet all hand for of sent words. One of the analyzing. Kind of word. Oil, dat is deze. Find the word, op de word en de comfrey. Eén, hè? Ja. Eén, ja. In. Wacht. Comfy and ball for one turn. Oh, bubbles. Leave it to go. Oh, cool. At the dandelions. Oh, done.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. What do you design?
5 voor 6, dan gaan we ermee stoppen voor vandaag. Dus iets tijd. Nou, iedereen bedankt voor het kijken, bedankt voor de chat, bedankt voor de